Hey everyone, welcome back. And today let's talk about a very significant topic, and that is what if Sun, your Atmakaraka, is under debilitation? What if it is in the sign of Libra and how it deeply impacts your life? So, before we talk about this in detail, let's understand what is the meaning of having Sun as Atma Karaka. What does it signifies in your journey? So, having Sun as Atma Karaka simply means that in this life, you have to embrace your soul, the voice of your soul. On one hand, Sun represents your qualities, the voice, that very deep voice you have, the voice of righteousness. And it shows your individuality, your personality. It shows your confidence, identity, positivity. And on the other hand, the very same Sun on a lower principle shows ego, too much of individualism, too much of thinking about yourself. And in that process, you will start ignoring the needs of other people. So, Sun shows how in this life you have to embrace your inner voice. You have to work on your confidence. There's a reason you have Sun as Atma Karaka. It shows a journey, maybe even many lifetimes, where you struggled with your confidence and your identity. Maybe there was excess of it, too much of ego, too much of pride you carried. Or it could also be about you really had a very difficult time in understanding yourself, standing up for yourself, supporting your very self. And it was always the other people's opinions which were impacting you deeply, how the world viewed you viewed yourself in that manner. So Sun shows in this journey the purpose is to listen to yourself, the purpose is to embrace the very voice deep within, and to focus on your identity, to focus on your growth. So it's not about being self centric, but it's about being a very positive person and having a lot of trust in yourself. You don't have to feel agitated because of the external influences. So, this is what Sun represents. And you have to focus a lot on your self growth in this lifetime. And when you do that, you illuminate so beautifully through your light. Other people also get motivation. Other people are also uplifted by what you have to offer in this life. So, automatically, the first purpose is to shine, to be yourself. You have to just be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be anyone. And the second purpose is connected to it. When you shine with your individuality, you're confident with what you are doing in life, the world will acknowledge that. You're born for that respect, you're born for that admiration and respect. So you are showing light and guidance to other people. So other people will also be very attracted to you. They will follow your path, they will follow your footsteps and your guidance. So you have to shine. That is the basic principle of having Sun as Atmakaraka. Now, what happens when Sun goes into Libra? What happens when the Atmakaraka is in the sign of Libra, where the Sun, of course, gets debilitated? In the sign of Venus, that is Libra, Sun finds it very hard to have that confidence and identity. Or maybe it's about um, a very fragile identity, a very fragile confidence which gets shaken up by other people's influence. The ability to stick to your principles, your ideas, your confidence is very difficult because Sun in the sign of community, people, partnerships, contract, public life. Here, every single day, your ideas, your direction in life, your confidence will be shaken up by people's views and expectations. I read this line somewhere in the book that if you don't let go things, if you don't uh, establish clear boundaries, you will be dragged into different directions. Those directions in which you don't want to go, those directions are of different people, and you will be dragged in their challenges. You'll be dragged into useless destinations. So, here, where you have a purpose to trust your inner voice, to trust your confidence, to have a proper confidence on what you believe in and follow that. Now, your belief system is being impacted by everyone around you, whether it's family, whether it's even your parents, especially father figure. It could also be the community in which you were born. It could be public life. It could be your partner. Now, here the Sun feels suffocated in relationships. One loses the identity because of the other person, or one finds it very hard to focus on individual happiness, individual purpose, or even that sense of happiness is gone because everything is so controlled and managed by other people. Here in Libra, we have three nakshatras: Chitra, Swati, and Vishakha. So, Chitra belongs to Mars, and Chitra is about the friction in life. Chitra is about that agitation, irritation, which we suffer. And that agitation gives birth to something beautiful. It creates something beautiful. Until and unless you're not being irritated, challenged, you won't be able to make changes in life to grow in that manner. So when the Sun is in Libra in the Chitra nakshatra, it shows that sometimes you have to deal with challenging situations, friction with people. That friction in your connections will polish you and make you someone who is very confident in life. The purpose is to become the architect of your own journey. With the Swati, of course, Sun in the Rahu Nakshatra, it shows that the other people's ideology, even their actions, they're so draining in nature, they almost mask your identity, feeling suffocated in the connection. It could be even, certain soul contracts in your life who are creating this for you, especially in the partnerships, love connections, relationship, marriage. And for Sun and Vishakha, it is about your very own family tree. It's your very own people. It starts from there. And then it could be your connections, marriage, even your social connections. It shows that how everyone wants a part of you, how everyone wants your help, your attention. And then you feel divided here. You feel disconnected from yourself and your growth. You're giving so much to others, like giving from the empty cup. That kind of energy carries with Sun in Vishakha. So, the basic lesson which you are learning in this life with the soul planet in Libra is to rise above the people, the relationships. You don't have to be overly dependent on anyone for anything, not just valid for validation or emotional support, but also it is about finances, it's about your living. I know human connections are important. We all are social animals. We need people around us. But for the sun in Libra, it is about learning to go beyond the connections, not to depend on those connections, because sun is the very energy source. It is your soul, it is your life force. And when you depend on others for that life force, it's like giving your key to someone else. And then you go through emotional manipulation, you go through hardships with people. It almost looks like they have a control over you, control over your actions, control over your life, control over every decision you might want to take. So, Sun in Libra, here there is a lesson to not to be over dependent on people. Secondly, to see who is right and who is wrong for you. And to number three, to disconnect from people who are abusing your support, your kindness, and whatever efforts you are doing for other people. The biggest lesson is relationships for Sun in Libra people. A lot depends upon in which house Sun is placed, which house is ruled by Sun. Leo ruling a particular house in the horoscope. Which house is that? Do you have any aspect on Sun? Is Sun along with some planet in conjunction, especially Ketu, Saturn, Rahu, even with the moon? So you have to see the conjunctions of the Sun. That will change everything, but the overall purpose is to rise above connections, to rise above false people in your life. A lot of time goes waste in managing your bonds. And also, what is Libra? It is about judgment. So there is lack of judgment here. You may try your best to take the right decision, especially with respect to people, but like somehow your soul doesn't want to go wrong. You don't want that, okay, if I support this person, then for the other person it might be some kind of injustice. So it's about lack of judgment, struggling with judgment, in understanding people, in taking decisions as well. There's confusion in that. But overall, your lesson is to overcome this. Your internal balance is important. The very core of the sun, that needs to be balanced here, and that is you, the sun. You have to balance yourself. Venus is also about equilibrium and balance. And how can you create that balance? Well, you can create that balance by connecting with the sun, maybe chanting of Gayatri mantra if you like. And I know, like, a lot of people, they don't want to chant anything. So what you can do, very simple remedy for the sun is, every morning just wake up early and witness the sun, the rising sun, or sitting under the sunlight for some time in the morning. It's a very beautiful remedy to heal the sun, to heal your Atmakaraka as well.